go. Let's do it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Take 215. I'm Deja. This is my dad, Ryan.
Yep.
We are your host, and make sure you like and subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast.
That's right.
Everything will be linked down below.
Mm-hmm.
And without further ado, it feels like it's been a long time, but we're in black. We ready to mourn.
Yes.
We ready to grieve. We ready to move on to better things, hopefully.
Sweet low, sweet chariot.
All right, y'all. So today, we got a little special guest that'll be popping in at some point in this episode. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that.
Y'all gonna love that.
Yeah, and I think the last time we were here, it was before the Tampa game. Yeah, so
Right.
we about 2 weeks removed from the Tampa game, almost, or a week or so.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss that nasty Eagles versus Buccaneers game, and then we'll also kind of go over the great collapse, the great bird collapse,
The historical collapse.
and then we'll
Yes.
talk a little bit about what needs to change. We'll preview some of we have our AFC and NFC divisional games coming up, and then we'll kind of we'll get our special guests in, and we'll go from there. All righty. So without further ado, Eagles at Buccaneers.
Trash.
Bad. Hold on. I thought I had my box score up. Hold on, y'all, please.
It's 32-9, wasn't it?
I think. Hold on. I tried to just
It was 32-9.
32-9
Crazy.
Oh, God.
Straight trash.
All right. So, Jalen Hurts he threw for 250 passing yards. And, sorry, y'all. Hold on. Where's my box score?
Would you put it right there so you can see?
Here we go. All right. So Jalen was 25 of 35 for 250 yards, 1 touchdown. Baker Mayfield tore him up. 22. Baker Mayfield tore him up. He was 22 of 36, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift ran for a whopping 34 yards. When we don't run the ball, we don't win the ball game. Of course, there was no A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith had a day. Of course, he was 8 receptions for 140. I need my glasses, y'all. 148 yards. So, what was the reason we lost?
We played like trash. And I just think the whole team, it just looked like they quit.
Yeah, I agree. They, like I said, and will say it again and again, the body language, the aura, everything.
Yes.
It just, after the Buffalo game, it's like they just emptied the tank to get that game.
Yeah.
And, because of course we was trailing the whole game. After that, nothing has looked good.
After that Buffalo game.
Nothing has looked good. And so I just something after that game was kind of like a switch flipped in a bad way. And it was just nothing was the same. Shout out Drake. Nothing was the same after that. And I just feel like the morale, the energy,
and everything,
it went down. And people can try to talk about, Jalen don't want to be there. Jalen is like this when we winning.
Yeah,
he like this when we losing.
Yeah,
he like this when they in the Super Bowl.
He's expressionless.
So I don't like that they trying to say, he looked checked out. He always looked checked out.
He always looked
no matter what the score is on the scoreboard.
When his finger was broke, he was just like.
So it's just like, I don't think that we can ever blame that on anything. Of course, A.J. Brown didn't play, which Nicholas got a lot of heat for playing our starters in that game against the Giants, trying to get the NFC title. And how did you feel about that? Because I was a little 50-50. I understood it because Dallas was losing at one point in that game.
So they had to play the guys, and just in case, the worst case scenario, because
if Dallas would have lost.
Yeah, and then they went home field advantage, so it made sense. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, that turf is just that turf is taking a lot of ACLs. So people in MetLife, so people were just like, why are we out here? Why are we doing this? But I understood it because had Dallas lost and we could have went out there and won, they would have been rioting.
Exactly.
I was telling him, the Philly fans is starting to get on my nerves.
Are they?
They got to calm down sometimes. And it's bad if I'm saying this.
I'm just like them.
They want everybody head on a swivel at any given, it don't matter.
Me included. I was ready to fire everybody.
Clean house.
I was ready to fire you.
So I just Nicholas got a lot of flack for that, but I understood it at the same time. Y'all, last week we were saying that AJ was faking because every time he do fumble,
I thought he was.
But when you watch the replay, it was a little bit of a hyperextension, and I think he wanted to go. I think he really did. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we would have won with him.
I don't think so either.
It was the right.
Baker Mayfield was looking like Joe Montana.
Right. Tom Brady.
I ain't lying. Tom Brady-ish.
Yeah. It's okay because he got what was coming to him yesterday.
Them guys played though, and he almost could have. He played good yesterday.
They was down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That's not playing good.
Well, they exceeded expectations.
They did. So they went on a little.
I mean, so I ain't mad at them.
Yeah, I already knew they was one and done when they beat us. I said, go ahead and have this moment.
Yeah,
because ain't no other team as bad as us right now in the playoffs. Dallas gone and we gone. So speaking, and we were okay because Dallas got cooked
first, so that gave me a little bit of.
I was all right.
That gave me a little. That gave me a little bit of comfort. It was comforting.
This is more about hating Dallas than liking the Eagles for me. At sometimes I don't really care. Like if Dallas losing, the Eagles lose, I'm like it's a wash. I don't really care.
Right. But by them losing, and you did say one thing. You said, Dad. You said. By everybody playing first, at least we'll know who we playing and know what we was dealing with. But
you was mad that we played Monday, last game.
Yeah, but it wouldn't matter when we played. We could play Thursday.
But being able to watch Dallas lose, that before we even played,
it was so exciting.
We was kind of playing with house money, not really because it was still a letdown. I still, we still should have we were the better team. Yeah. I'm not gonna say should have won because it's just a lot of things going wrong.
When Dallas lost like that, I threw my father's skills out the window. I let the kids stay up all night long.
And don't let
I was like, yo, party for y'all.
And don't let the score fool y'all because it was 43-16.
It was a lot of empty calories.
With 4 minutes left to go. Dakota is the king of empty calories. Empty calories.
King of empty calories.
Yeah. Prescottian numbers is what Shannon Sharp called it.
He got a lot of Jenny Craig meals.
So after that, they were able to. Green Bay looked excellent. The Green Bay has a good future. They almost knocked off San Fran.
Yeah.
Blame the kicker.
Yeah.
The Kickers lost 2 games yesterday. San Fran kicker lost it for him, and Buffalo kicker lost it. So
yeah, I just think Jordan Love is he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. So.
We got to look into why Green Bay has these Hall of Famer quarterbacks. What's going on? They're gonna for the past 30 years now because Jordan Love is gonna be that kid, dude.
But I think it is also goes along with they sit 3 or 4 years before they even play.
Yeah, but that's not a thing no more.
I know, but what I'm saying is with Brett Favre and then with
Aaron Rodgers,
all them they sat for years before they came on.
I think Jordan Love sat for 1 year, but then
he sat for more than one.
3?
He sat for 3 years. Yeah.
So he old.
Yeah, taking snaps and with the second. Yeah.
Yeah, but
learning on the sideline.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers was pissy when they drafted him.
Right. So I just think
that got something to do. But still, that's happened before, and they ain't had no they're gonna have 3 Hall of Famers.
But what I'm saying is, it's just I don't think it's by coincidence that 2 of those guys sat for 3 or 4 years before they played.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I bet I could research that, and it's happened before, and it's not that type of talent. I do think they're good at. I don't know who their owners and stuff are. I think that they're good at drafting talent, and I think this is a big. F.U. to Aaron Rodgers.
And everybody was like, I cut you off. What you say there?
No, it's just him and his, he moved on from ashwagandha to ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, so he moved up?
Ayahuasca.
Where can you get some of that from?
I don't know if it's legal.
Oh, I don't want nothing. I stick to ashwagandha.
He getting it somewhere across the rivers in some retreat. Oh. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, he's a fool. Anyway, I don't know how we got there, but we talking about Jordan Love. So, we'll talk a little bit more about the Eagles. What do you think? I already know how you feel, but Nick Sirianni, now that the dust has settled, he is made it to the postseason all 3 years as a head coach with the Eagles. He averages 12 wins a season, and he led us to the Super Bowl, which is something Dallas has not done in 28 years.
Right.
So after all that is said and done, do you think that they should, this was such a big collapse that they needed to move on from him?
No, at first I did because I was just I was wanting to get him out of there. But now, looking back on it, it looks like they're making some changes. Looks like the coordinator, Patricia's gone. Looks like
Desai's gone.
Desai's gone. And they're interviewing some candidates for OC and DC. So we got to give him another chance. I was mad at him at first, but
he's gonna get more than another chance.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to have a losing season for them to pivot.
Right.
I think so, because it's gone. And he's 2-3, I think, in the postseason. But that one, the 2-2, not including the Super Bowl. Like
and then by him going to the Super Bowl, that bought him he got some clout.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah, because that's something, like I said, other teams have not.
And he done that as a second year head coach.
Yeah, with Jalen's first year as a starter.
Yeah, so he put in some work. So
I think we're a couple pieces away on the coaching side. They interviewing Brian Johnson. Take him.
Yeah, he can go.
The Panthers interviewed him and somebody else. I'm all for a black man getting a head coaching job.
Me too.
I don't want him to be my head coach, but
yeah.
he can go. He can go. And I'm hoping that they don't have to fire him. I'm hoping that he get a job.
I think he's going either way.
They would probably already did it. They just fired the coordinator.
Yeah. So he better get a job.
Yeah, I think he should get a job.
Yeah.
And like you said, they interviewing Ron Rivera.
Yeah, Ron Rivera and
Riverboat.
And the guy they talking about the guy from Atlanta, and then they was talking about what's the other guy from the Ravens, Desmond. It was a coordinator for the Ravens.
Oh, they defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was with the Eagles at one time. Before.
Oh, he gonna get a head coaching job.
Yeah, but they said
Yeah, that defensive coordinator of the Ravens. I was watching that game the other night. He gonna get a head coaching job.
Yes.
But I do think that I didn't know Riverboat was a defensive mind.
Yes, he was a good linebacker coach, and he started off on defense.
Yeah, I think his days as a head coach is over. He didn't struck out at Carolina, even though they was close with Cam Newton.
But I wouldn't mind having him with his experience and all the years he's been a head coach, and it was experience in the league.
Yeah.
And then he ain't no punk. He won't, you know what I mean?
Demands accountability.
Yeah, he's an old school guy, so
Yeah.
I think I can go with him, you know.
Yeah, they talking about Belichick. I don't need Belichick.
Belichick ain't coming because
he want to be a head coach.
Yeah, and plus, you know.
And they talking about go to Dallas. You think he going to join that circus?
A Belichick coach, he a trailblazer. He ain't going
with Jerry, where the owner doing press conferences and calling the shots. Like, come on now, that's a circus to build.
Yeah, and he'll be talking. You know how he talk too, because you know he'll say the name number 11.
Yeah, he beat
number 11 played good.
He beating Jerry Jones out.
Probably gave him a number 2.
So I see him floating around places too. I think Bill, they was talking about what Dallas needs. We'll talk about Dallas a little bit, like what Dallas needs, because the talent is there.
Dallas is.
What's wrong with Dallas?
They choke artists.
Yeah, I'm 28, and the last time they been, I wasn't even here yet.
Wow, you wasn't even born.
No, might have been cooking somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't know.
You might have been in the oven.
Yeah, it was 20 when it was with Michael Irvin, the triplets. Troy Aikman and Emmett.
Right.
That was 28 years ago.
Yeah.
But the talent is there.
Yeah, but they don't have no true leader on their team.
No, they don't. Dakota, I don't think it's like, and Micah too busy worried about his podcast. And I think that they're mentally weak. And Rob Gronkowski said this. He said they're not a mentally tough team. Clearly the talent is
there. And they don't have no like leader, like a dog, a leader.
Like they need like a Ray Lewis or something.
Yeah.
They don't have that. That's who DeMarcus think he is. What's his name? DeMarcus. DeMarcus Lawrence. That's who DeMarcus Lawrence.
Talking about you hit him and then you hit him again.
Yeah. Well, you got hit and hit again. I can't stand him.
But it's no like true leader. There's no true leader in that bunch. Because if you could say who's their leader on the team,
right? And the coach is not even a leader. Like I can appreciate Nick Sirianni because of his emotion that he shows. He will get on people.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with that because that's holding people accountable. If as long as a player is not showing up their quarterback, I'm okay with the coach having to, get somebody in line real quick. Mike McCarthy ain't doing that.
No.
He's like a bump on the log.
Mike McCarthy talking about we got a championship team.
And it's every year. I want y'all to understand as Dallas Cowboys fans, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And every year,
I don't understand it.
Every year, they say this our year, and there's no way y'all can keep believing that.
Who say that?
Every Cowboys fan I know, including Skip Bayless.
They delusional.
I don't know Skip, but it's like every time.
They delusional.
And then you be looking crazy and crying at the end. It's like every time. It's got to be a science behind it. It's crazy. Like at least us Eagles fans, we call it like it is, and we kind of knew that we wasn't going to do nothing this year after we saw what it looked like.
But you know what though? But this year was different for me because I watch on social media and things like that. A lot of Cowboy fans were like, "Yo, this is it."
The year?
No. They was like, they mad.
Oh, after this one. Now they are, but they'll be right back up after now. Well, they are a little mad because they kept Mike McCarthy.
Right. I don't think they'll be gun-ho this year. We'll see.
They kept Mike McCarthy, so they are a little mad because I think that they needed to move on from Mike. Drop the mic, as was Skip Bayless called. But I just don't understand it. I do think that the talent, this was one of the years where they really, really had it going. But not really, because they beat up on bad teams.
Yeah.
And but us. We was a bad.
Yeah. So, and you're right, because they beat up on bad teams. And
so good, though.
And then they didn't have that many wins with teams with a winning record.
Correct. Yeah. So we were like, I think they beat us in Detroit.
Yeah.
In Seattle. They beat Seattle.
Well, they got robbed in Detroit.
But
that's another story.
So I don't see it. I think it's the coaching, and you know that Jerry Jones fired Jimmy Johnson after they won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls in the night or whenever that was.
That's because he couldn't control them.
Correct, and they will never win. They think it's like a football curse that he will never win anything else because of that. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Because of your ego.
You won 2 Super Bowls back to back,
and you fire the coach because because you're not getting all the glory.
He ain't kissing the butt.
Yeah, he gonna have to die before they do anything, and I hate to say that.
But
how old is he?
He's about 80. I think.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Jones acted like he was still coaching. You see him on TV at halftime?
You get your rear end. What he say?
Rear end.
You get your rear end in the gear.
And get Jordan Love.
I want to find this tweet because after they lost, Skip Bayless said, "Can't wait for Micah Parsons' podcast tomorrow because that's what he does best."
But he didn't get on the podcast.
Because he couldn't. And this is what Micah Parsons said. He said, "You're going to excuse my French. You hating ass MFer. Who mad I ain't want to do your show? Where was all this when you was on want me to come on your show every Tuesday? You lame as F, Skip, real fake Cowboys fan." That's what Micah tweeted.
Just Skip Bayless? Daggone. I guess he won't be going on that show.
But that you come back and say that. That's the only tweet he did. He did no podcast. He did nothing. That's just the only tweet he let off.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was from his verified account.
Wow.
So that's how Micah feeling. But anywho, enough about Dallas.
Yeah, we talking about Dallas more. We talking about the Eagles.
Because I love it when Dallas just
I know
plummet.
It was glorious.
So, all in all, what were your overall thoughts for this season?
To be honest with you, we did make the playoffs, even though, but one of my coworkers today, she was like, Mr. Dykes, don't you know this is the first time, and she think in NFL history that a team won 10 games and couldn't win 2 more.
Yeah, that didn't win 12 games. It's the first time in NFL history that a team has gone 10-1 and didn't win 12 games. So it was an epic collapse.
Yes, historical.
Shot the eagle at the sky.
Yeah, so, but
we were also the only team this year that beat 4 or 5 9+ win teams.
True.
Like we beat Miami, we beat Kansas City, we beat Buffalo, we beat Dallas.
And it didn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
So, but really, they made the playoffs, and ultimately, you want to go to the dance, and they did make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you at least expected them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but
like, I thought they would at least go to.
I'm trying to give Sarah Ryan some grace. I'm grasping at straws.
Well, the team really, like Fletcher, all the leaders, and then when they asked Jalen, they were like, "What?" Basically questioning Sirianni's job. He was like, "What?" He was like, "I wasn't aware that he was going anywhere or up to go." And he's like, "Come on, y'all."
Yeah, so but the coaches get to, when teams lose, that's how I go in. They blame the coach. Somebody got to,
Yeah, so I mean, all in all, I think it was a letdown. I did expect, but somebody asked me, they was like, "Do you think the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl?" And I said, "Not if we don't get home field advantage."
I didn't think we were going back.
Well, when we was 10-1, I did.
I didn't. I still had my reservations.
I thought we would at least get to the NFC Championship that's and maybe San Fran knock us out. But if San Fran had to come to Philly, or they came to Philly before, but I still thought San Fran was just up for that game. But San Fran didn't look that good against Green Bay.
They kind of.
And I hope Detroit can get them. I hope Eminem and 8 Mile.
But guess what though? I think Green Bay is better than what people think they are.
I think they are.
I know, because you said they didn't look that good. Green Bay is just playing that good.
Well, the Green Bay's defense
That's what I think.
Yeah, Green Bay's defense was the question mark in that game. We knew Jordan Love could.
Yeah, because look what they did to Dallas. They blew them out.
And so
I think San Fran played their game, but Green Bay was up another notch, but they still couldn't. They couldn't hold it together with the turnovers, with the turnover and. But
the missed kick is what did it.
Yeah, but Jordan Love, he coming.
Yeah, he is. All right, so real quick, just the last two games we've made it to the divisional rounds. The conference championships. So on the AFC side, we got the Ravens and the Chiefs. Who you got? I
got to go with Be more careful. I got to go with that quarterback that's not quarterbacky enough. I got to go with him.
Same.
Yeah, I got to go with him.
Just watching that game last night, Kansas City couldn't get a stop to save the world. And what you think Lamar and them about to do to you?
Yeah. So I'm going with Baltimore, and plus they next door to Philly, and I'm gonna go with my neighbor.
And Baltimore, please, y'all are the only people. I thought Josh Allen could do it. Please put us out of the Taylor Swift misery.
Oh, Lord.
Please they out there swag surfing. They just found out what that dance is. Like, that ain't a black dance that was invented decades ago, and they up there doing it because they just found out about it. I don't want to see no more of none of that. Jason Kelce was having a little bit of too much fun for me.
Funny.
I guess that's his brother.
But that's his brother, though.
But I'll find a clip. Patrick Mahomes' daddy was sick of all them YT people.
But guess what, though? I'm not mad at Jason.
No, that's because if it's your brother.
Because Travis comes to the Eagles games.
And wear Eagles gear.
Wear Eagles gear.
Yeah, I'm not mad. They're brothers.
Yeah,
but
I would do the same thing.
He was just really having a good time, shirt off. But that's what he did.
That's what he do
anyway. But I got Baltimore, too. I think it's... But this is, I'm actually excited for this matchup. This is kind of what we deserve.
Okay, well, give me a bold prediction.
I think that Kansas City will not score over 20 points.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think 20 is it.
Okay.
Baltimore defense is for real.
Yeah.
What's your bold prediction?
My bold prediction is I think Lamar will rush for over 100, and he will throw for over 300.
3?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's my bold prediction.
You had me at the rush over 100 because he looked like it don't even look real.
It looks fake.
It looked fake. All right. So then on the NFC side, we got Detroit 8 Mile Road.
Yeah.
Against the Bang Bang Niner gang.
Eminem be all up in there too.
Yeah. They was crying. I mean, they and you know what's the beautiful part? They still got there before Dallas did.
Yeah.
To the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
It's just pathetic.
How Eminem say, how you say it on 8 Mile when and Dave Chappelle was teasing them talking about I forgot how Eminem started around, but I'm happy for Eminem. He Detroit in there.
Yeah, native. And, they having a blast. Good for them.
But guess what though? So 8 Mile was made in Detroit. I did not know they had trailers in Detroit.
Why not?
I didn't know they had trailer parks.
It's called 8 Mile Road. That's the name of the road
but I thought,
in Detroit.
But the Motor City, it must be a lot of
it's trailer parks everywhere.
Nah, in Philly it ain't.
I bet you find some double wide somewhere.
No, it ain't. There's not no trailer parks in Philly.
But Detroit is not.
But I thought the Motor City. I just thought
Motown.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a rural areas in Detroit like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, what's the
And what's that road he lived on? 8 Mile Road.
It's called 8 Mile Road. Yeah.
Is that a real road?
Yeah, that's where he grew up. We're from.
Wow.
I'm just trying to think of the
Is Haley from there too? His daughter?
Yeah, she was at the game, yeah. She grown now.
Oh, she got to be what, about 30?
She like my age, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess about 30 then.
Was this girl there? Haley's mother?
I don't think they was still together.
Okay.
That's a while.
All right.
But anyway, enough about Eminem. Shout out
to Shady.
Marshall Mathers.
Yes.
Give me your score. It's at San Fran. Does the Buck stop here for Detroit?
I think it does.
Come on. Nah.
I know, but I think
Dan Campbell gonna.
I think San Francisco got a scare last week, and with Green Bay, and I think they'll come out with a more sense of urgency. But I'll say 28-17.
Just 17.
San Fran, yeah.
Nah, Jared. I don't even know if I gave a score for the first game, but anyway, I think this game will be. I'm going like 34-28 Detroit.
Okay.
That's just because I'm picking with my heart, though.
Yeah, but if they get the running game going, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit won the game, but I got to go with San Fran. I think they got a little scared. I think they got a big scare with J Love.
Yeah, like Detroit has looked good in every playoff game. Like
where
San Fran had a little bit of a hiccup, and that crowd was a little quiet yesterday or Sunday, whenever it was. Whereas Detroit has handled business every single time they've got on the field.
Yeah.
And here's why I need it to be Baltimore and Detroit in the Super Bowl, because you know how black that would be.
Baltimore and Detroit.
Yeah, the old school pimp's gonna be out.
Ooh.
They're gonna have their fur coats on. They're gonna have their hard bottoms on. It's gonna be a time. And they're gonna pull up in this the Motor City.
And the deuce and the quarter. and look, and the pimps be like, free your behind and your mind will follow. What that mean?
I don't know.
That's Iceberg Slim. You never heard of him?
No.
He said, like the girl that like you.
No.
Yeah, that's that pimp talk.
So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have some Be More. It'll just be. Yeah. I need that, and it'll happen in Black History Month and then Usher at halftime. I need that. Black across the board.
You remind me of a girl that I once knew.
Yeah, I need that.
Is it Usher or Usher?
Usher.
It's Usher. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it was kind of tight with Detroit in Tampa Bay for a minute.
No.
It was dead.
But then they touchdown, and that was it.
Right.
And then Baker threw a pick to end the game to our boy C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'm happy for him though, because he
made the right choice of leaving.
I don't know. It's about the money for me. He could have.
Wow.
He had a bad agent. I could have been his agent.
Well, he
he
signed a 1-year deal, so he'll get it next year.
Yeah, he was hurt most of the year, but hopefully he get it.
Yeah, he'll get it. Okay.
All right, so before we wrap this thing up, we're gonna go ahead and get our caller on the line.
Yes.
So everybody, we go get who is this to you?
He's my brother. He's my brother from another mother.
Mm-hmm.
Partners in crime, so to speak.
Or
what?
Was it literally or figuratively?
Figuratively. That was a tongue twister. But Willie Murchison, Philly Iceman 21, he's gonna
join us.
He's gonna join us and give us how the temp is in Philly, not the weather temp, but how
the temperament.
The temperament is in Philly, and
we
how
didn't know him
feeling.
for a long time. You know, it's for real when we calling him Uncle Willie
That's
since
right.
he was little.
Yeah, I'm going to Uncle Willie house. Got a call on line one, y'all. Got my brother from Philly, Willie Murchison, a.k.a.
Yep.
Philly Iceman 21. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's the dealio?
What's up, Uncle Willie?
What's up, baby girl?
Well, we want to thank you for joining us.
Sure.
Yeah, we got a couple questions. I guess we'll get started talking about them stinking birds.
Those featherless birds right about now.
So, what was the city like? How was they feeling after that letdown? I'm glad y'all ain't play at home.
Wow. Yo, so for real, here's the real, right? The Philly was in it like a sunbird type of emotional cloudiness, right? People were coming into the job, ladies, and mainly ladies more than the guys, but the ladies were really into it.
Yeah,
and they were really in a sunbird. It was quiet. It's almost like going to a funeral.
Wow.
So
I'm serious when I say this to y'all.
Yeah, it's like somebody died.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like somebody died. So I guess I'm gonna ask your opinion. Who do you think is most at fault for that epic collapse?
Okay, so I look at things like from a philosophical view.
Nice.
Which also shares an insight to everyone's own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, what I mean is I look at it from this perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take a car. The car has so many parts in order for it to function at 100%.
Yeah.
In order for it to have where it's not working, there has to be a breakdown, right, in connection.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that being said, there are two parts mainly that comes with any football team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the managerial and that's the performing players.
Okay.
Got you.
from that perspective, I know, just like we all visually saw,
right,
there was a disconnect. You can't go 11 games winning, or was it 10 games winning, and all of a sudden go 6 games of losing back to back.
Yeah,
right.
Something had to get unplugged, right, or disconnected, in order for that to take place.
Yeah,
and so we kept waiting. As people, as fans, waiting for them to get it together. And as you all saw, witnessed, they could never get it together.
Never.
Yeah.
So I take it and say that it's management, which, management is the top lead.
Yeah.
But then they could no longer connect, or they disconnected from the players.
Yeah, somewhere.
And they lost faith in management.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, I think it was some like the body language you could tell it was a bunch of things that was going on, and I do think that it kind of started when they demoted the defensive coordinator. I felt like he was kind of the scapegoat, even though he did need to go, but I feel like he could have waited to the end of the season, because I feel like that only made things worse, and I feel like it probably put everybody else in like a panic mode, especially on the defensive side of the ball, even though the numbers were bad. Yeah, so I agree.
And it was bad for morale too. Like when you get rid of somebody like right in the middle of the season,
absolutely,
they hit the panic button, and then ultimately they got worse after they put Patricia in there. So
because it's hard to
right.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that Nick Sirianni should stay? The head coach. Keep in mind he's been there 3 seasons. He's made it to the postseason all 3 seasons, led us to the Super Bowl, and he averages 12 wins. So do you think that with that resume he should go?
No, I don't think so.
Same.
And you know what? My opinion, I don't think so. But it's also the owners. They also agree, because the word came out today that he doesn't have to worry about his position.
It did, yeah.
But guys, I was different. I mean, I was straight like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Hey, look, I was like, yo, I mean? I was like, you got to get up out of here. You know what I mean? And I know sometimes I think irrational. Yeah, my emotions play a part in that. But you know what I mean? I was ready to pack his bag.
Yeah.
Well, when you take a look at it now that it's over and it's done with, when you look at the greater picture and the body of work, there is no way. Like Philly that would just look so bad as an organization if we just, there's clearly issues, but I think the issues are within, some of maybe how I feel is the coordinators.
But Willie, let me ask you something. So like you catch the sub to work, right? You go to Fern Rock. No, where you go to?
Yes.
You go to Fern Rock and then catch the sub all the way down, right?
Yes.
And so what was the feel? Because I know they be having the Metro papers and things like that on the sub. So what was the feel of the people in the conversation like when you was on the sub on the way to work and coming back home?
We had a mile stretch limousine that we borrowed from the funeral home, and we just rode it from one end of Philly to the other.
Wow!
And I will say, I'm glad that it was an away game, because it would had they did that stinker at the Link, that would have been bad. I feel like it was just they needed to go on the road and do that, because if they would have did that at home, it might have been worse, because I feel like the pressure would have got to them.
So let me ask you something, Willie. Did you watch it at home, or did you go to the bar and watch it?
I had to stay at home. I couldn't be around anyone. I couldn't be around anyone. I just couldn't handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So I decided to stay at home. I didn't want to see. I did that from the last 3 games that we lost back to back.
Right.
And man, I'm telling you, the energy after that end of those games that we lost, it was just, we were dying, man. We literally would.
Especially
the energy just was not there.
Yeah.
And then one thing about it, when you watch it at home, you could do damage control. Yeah, I mean, you can scream.
Oh, you said it right there, bro.
You can do that. You can scream.
You can do damage control much better alone at home you can in those environments.
Exactly. Then when you're out there, you got to go through other people's emotions, and then that can leave a scar on you, especially when you're out in public. So,
hey, you guys got to remember, in Philadelphia, you're going to always have some lingering Cowboy fans who just want to take the dagger and try to twist it in your hip.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it really couldn't get no worse for us after we watched the Cowboys lose that way.
First, so that gave us
and the way they lost.
Yeah, they tried at first, right? The Dallas fans. But then, yeah, like you guys are saying now, they had to shut it down, man, because they have no room to talk.
Yeah, it was 43-16 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So don't let the score fool you. Like, it wasn't as close as people think it was close. So even though we got blown out too, but
we got blown out too from the
30,
bench.
Was it 32-9? What was it?
That was terrible. I didn't even watch the second half.
No, I kept up on my phone because at halftime it was close.
Yeah.
I think at halftime it was a one possession game, but still. And I will ask, do you think that we would have won that game with AJ Brown? I don't.
Ooh, that's a pretty good question right there.
Because there was nowhere for Jalen to go with the ball. There was nowhere for him to go.
I'll go as far as to say this because we watched how they fell down with when they had T.O. when the dad had T.O.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like even if he had been there, it may not even been a success either. Because we were so disconnected.
And I concur because AJ Brown don't play no defense. He don't play linebacker.
He don't, but the offense was 3 and out. So I'm just saying the offense exposes the weaknesses in our defense. So
you think we might have been sustained?
I think we could have, because when you look at it, he couldn't. I watched some of it. There was nowhere for him to throw the ball because clearly they're going to double Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And so, it was just nowhere. And then we got behind, so we couldn't run the ball. It was just a mess.
But I think I have to agree with Willie. I think we still would have lost with AJ.
I do too. I think it might have been a little bit of a tighter ball game, but I think and when it came down to it, Baker could have got him in field goal range, or he could have got him, in the end zone when it mattered.
Okay, guys, I didn't mean to cut you off, David, but I just wanted to say this: even if he had been there, I believe. Look at that; they had no dogs in them.
Yeah.
All we saw in those fields were puppies.
Yeah.
There was no dog in that fight.
Yeah, they wasn't. They was all checked out.
Yeah.
And I will say, and we'll talk about a little bit about this later too. Like, I mean, but you can't quite blame it too much on the Super Bowl hangover because look, Kansas City is going back to the divisional round, but I think Kansas City has a better
check that out.
They have a better foundation than we do, I think, and better coaching. Come on, Big Red. So
who's the coach?
Big Red, Andy Reid. So so I think that they're mentally tougher than we are. We are still a young football team compared to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, but I do think like we had a lot, and this is no excuse, but I didn't expect us to win. Well, I did, but we had a lot of games that I thought we were going to lose, like the game to Buffalo that went overtime. The game,
we
Kansas
did win
City, some, and I just felt like once, like after that Buffalo game, they was just done for some reason. Didn't it seem like after the Buffalo game, they just couldn't get it?
They turned into pit bulls to puppies, just like
after
they turned into puppies.
Yeah,
and look, they wasn't eating popcorn on the sideline; they was eating puppy chow. Yeah, I mean,
it just felt like something after that Buffalo game just switched. Yeah. You got any other questions?
So how about at the workplace? Was a lot of Eagle fans at your workplace?
Yeah, he said it was some.
You got to understand it. Yeah, most of these offices down in Philadelphia, majority of Eagles fans, and that's why I said to you, at my job right now, it's like 3 days a week where about 50% of people will show up. And they didn't even show up.
Right.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I'm glad that at least I'm down here and I ain't got to do, because it's like I bet like the whole city was just probably a little shell shocked, even though you can't stumble into the playoffs, and that's what we did.
And
you gotta hit your stride at the right time, which is what Buffalo did, even though they just lost. They won. They didn't lose a game since they lost to us. And then the Ravens lost some early games, but then you gotta hit your stride at the right time. And I think we took off at the beginning of the year, but that don't even matter.
Yeah, and I just Will, we've been in Philly a lot of times when the Eagles winning. And when the Eagles win, it's a feel good in the city. Crime rate go down. Ain't nobody shooting nobody or nothing. You know what I mean? And so now we got to deal with this, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but Will, man, it's been great having you on. Yo, you eat a cheesesteak for me. You know what I mean?
At least we are out of our misery. We are out of. I was like, I talked to Joe. And did you say we said the same thing? I was like, I'm just glad it's over. You can put me out my misery. But now we'll shift our focus to the Sixers. They look mighty good. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll see what they can do.
Okay, Will. So check this out, man.
I'd like to thank both of y'all for having me onto the show.
Yeah.
And as your granddad, Deja, and as Ryan's pops would always say, thank you guys. You guys rock.
You guys.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is my Uncle
All
Billy
right.
for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Hey,
All
Will.
right.
Hey,
Have a blessed one.
You too now. Okay.
So yeah, that's another episode. What episode is this?
Lamb
12?
No, this is episode 11.
Lamb or 12? I think it's 12.
It's 12?
I think it's 12.
It's 11.
But who's counting?
It's 11.
It's not 11. I make the graphics.
Okay.
Oh. I don't know,
It's
y'all.
11.
Oh, anyway. So again, we got any final parting words?
Yes, I want to give a shout out to my man Quail. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tom in Philly and his sister Deneen. Hold me down. Yeah.
And we got to give a shout out to Sean. Y'all going?
Sean.
We sound a lot better. We got a lot.
You got a lot of what?
I don't know what I was gonna say.
And look, hey guys, and we ain't talking about Sean Puffy Combs. Look, because I want to party. I want to take you shopping.
No, certainly not that Sean.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that Sean.
No. But we got to thank him for he's become our production crew.
Yeah.
We got a lot. We got good mics.
Wow.
We got a soundboard. It's a mixer, excuse me.
My mic sound nice.
So anyway, shout out to him. All his info will be linked in the bottom bar if y'all need somebody to do some producing for you.
Yeah.
So again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. My name is Deja. This is my dad, Ryan.
Yes.
We are Take 215.
And we out.
And go Sixers. Joel Embiid drop 70, baby.